Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came wrong.
Jay-Z is firing back hard, and 50 Cent might have just crossed the ultimate line. The rap icon is not playing around after 50 dropped some jaw-dropping claims that hit way deeper than typical rap beef. We're talking shady deals, puppet strings, and clips fans can't unsee. Could Beyoncé really be under Jay's thumb like some controlled puppet? And what if 50 isn't just running his mouth, but spilling real truth?
The Grammys, everybody. You know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that.
Things are getting heated fast. So here's the tea. Hav is officially coming for 50. And honestly, 50 brought this on himself. He's been throwing jabs at Jay for years, but this time he went nuclear. On the Play Grant podcast with Andrew Schultz, 50 started clowning Jay-Z's entire legacy, implying he only made it big because of who he married. Yup. According to 50, Jay didn't build his empire on hustle alone. He got lucky marrying Beyoncé.
Wow, so that's the deal.
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
He claimed that wedding ring rebranded Jay from street rapper to polished family man, and that shift boosted his whole public image. That's cold. But 50 wasn't done. The real bomb dropped when he started talking about a clip of Beyoncé courtside at a game. In the video, she looks spaced out like something seriously off.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on.
Sure, some fans said she might have just been tired, but 50 straight up suggested she had been given something before that event. That's a huge accusation. Then there's this viral moment from the Grammys. Jay trying to hand Bey a drink and her turning it down. No big deal, right? Except fans clocked Jay's face, and it did not look happy. 50 pointed it out too, saying that kind of pressure ain't normal. His words hit different when you watch the footage. Why was he so determined for her to sip that drink? That's got folks creeped out. People online are now saying it's less power couple and more power imbalance.
So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because
from
he's
the
no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
I'm saying shit you didn't see.
He deserved those.
It's like this. Like,
Some even claim Jay and Bey come off like a master and servant dynamic. Cold, controlled, and stiff. The vibe ain't love, it's tension. And here's where it really gets messy. Whispers are resurfacing about Beyoncé's early days in the industry, and they're dark. Before she was the queen bee, insiders say she was passed around elite circles for exposure. Shocking, right? But it doesn't stop there. Check this out. UGK's Bun B once told a wild story during an interview. According to him, back in the day when Destiny's Child and UGK were recording in the same building,
and Jay-Z were at the Nets game, and y'all tell me what you think.
Discrimination that is used to make Brooklyn a better place.
Y'all didn't hear the beat?
I heard the beat, but then the beat went away, and she continued to rock and sway.
Sometimes when you're a musician, if she been in the studio or whatever, the beat is still in her head, and you know she can hear the song, you know, and
it's something so intriguing about that couple. Like, even though, you know, like, it makes it more interesting because you don't know what they were talking about. Like, are they having an argument?
Can we reenact it and let's see what they were talking about?
Now, I told you I wasn't about to get any popcorn now. I'm just tired. I'm flawless, and I'm tired, Jay-Z.
But what about some juju beads? I like juju beads. They're tasty.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. But it ain't about that right now.
Whoppers. Well, if you don't do it, I'm going to put you where Solange's at. You can't even see her.
Oh, really? It's like that now? Okay, so let me call her.
Don't do that.
Pimp C wanted to swing by and say what's up to the girls. The way Bun told it, there was definitely a vibe, like people already saw Beyoncé as something to access, not just a young artist. Let that sink in. Now, does that prove anything? Number. But in this industry, What isn't said can speak louder than words. And 50 Cent is using every moment, every clip, every look to build a case that maybe, just maybe, there's a twisted truth behind the glam. So now Jay's not just brushing it off. Word is his team is ready to clap back hard, maybe even legally. He's not letting anyone mess with his marriage or his legacy. But here's the question, is 50 just trolling like he always does? Or is he pulling receipts that need to be seen? Because if even half of what he's hinting at turns out to be real, this whole situation could blow up into something way bigger than a rap feud. They were just fans at first, totally starstruck. It was your average industry encounter. Except behind the scenes, there was something way more strategic going on. According to insiders,
So the Grammys, everybody, you know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that.
Beyoncé's father, Matthew Knowles, had a vision, and it wasn't just about music. Word is he wanted Pimp C to get close to Bey, and not just for fun. This wasn't personal, it was business. In his mind, a connection with someone like Pimp could boost both of their careers. But here's where things take a wild turn.
There's a lot of our guys in there. There's a ton of Rap-A-Lot guys in the building. And Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio.
Okay.
And so Pimp goes in, they're like, Destiny Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. You know, he goes in and he introduces himself. And I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was meeting Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio and we're recording and hanging out. And Matthew Knowles comes in and he asks Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes and Pimp comes in and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't f his daughter. Man.
Pimp C reportedly wasn't interested. He didn't play along. But guess who did? Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright has been loud about this for years, claiming Bey was being molded, trained even, for this very role. A role that required loyalty, control, and silence. Sounds dramatic, but let's break it down. Beyoncé had the fame, the talent, and the beauty, so why would she tie herself to someone with Jay's record? Let's not forget, Jay-Z was on probation when they first got together. For real. Back in late 1999, Jay was charged after an incident involving music executive Lance Rivera. Reports say Jay stabbed the man at a nightclub. He denied it at first, but eventually accepted a deal and got 3 years probation. Now, fast forward, Beyoncé, barely 20,
trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music, handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carey,
starts dating him while he's still serving that probation. Think about it. Why would a rising superstar with the world at her feet start dating someone fresh off a serious charge? It doesn't add up, unless there was a deeper arrangement behind closed doors. Some say this was a planned partnership, not a love story. A deal between two powerful men, Jay-Z and Matthew Knowles. But here's the dark side of that alleged business move. Control. If the whispers are true, Jay didn't just need a public partner, he needed someone he could manage. And that's where it gets disturbing. Rumors claim he started feeding Bey substances to keep her compliant and quiet. Sounds extreme? Maybe. But Cassie's story about Diddy has eerie parallels. It's not that hard to believe anymore. And it's not just hearsay. Blind item sites have posted shocking claims for years about an award-winning singer,
Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Was that he started dabbling in it, and then a pregnant girl came by to buy some crack, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not doing this."
Like I said, he just sell dope. Yeah. He was doing what everybody was doing in the neighborhood, and he tried it and be like, but he didn't glorify. Hey, I sell, and no, you know what I'm saying. If you really think about it, have you ever heard Snoop talk about him selling dope?
Not really. No.
Yeah, he smoked dope. He's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? I can go down the line. Even the Eric was really selling dope, and he really don't really get into that. He get into what a day was like for in the hood.
Who looks perfect on the outside, but is allegedly dealing with a serious addiction behind the scenes. The posts describe someone with fame, fortune, kids, and a long-standing marriage, but who needs help staying up and performing non-stop. According to those insiders, the habit started light, just occasional use. But over time, it reportedly became daily. The claims even say she turned to stronger stuff, not just weed, despite fans thinking she lived a clean life. And why? Some point the finger at the people around her husband, her inner circle, her upbringing. Jay-Z has never hidden his past in the streets. He came up hustling, dealing, surviving. That lifestyle doesn't just disappear, and people are now wondering if he brought some of that mindset into his marriage. It's heartbreaking if true. A woman praised worldwide for her strength and independence, possibly locked in a deal she never truly chose.
I love October. This is nothing compared to what you've done. And not only me, but everybody here. You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman.
One where control replaced connection and loyalty masked submission. This ain't just gossip. It's something that even experts in love and human behavior have talked about. And Jay-Z himself? He's never tried to hide where he came from. In fact, during a rare sit-down with Oprah, he opened up while walking through the Marcy projects where he grew up. He told her that surviving there was literally life or death, and he meant every word. See, back in the 80s when the crack wave hit hard, a 13-year-old Jay-Z stepped into the game. With his father out of the picture by the time he was 11, Jay found his mentors on the corners.
His former bodyguard confirmed just was on the internet stirring up trouble with his claims.
Dealers, hustlers, survivors. That was his world. And he said it before. On the streets, you had to operate with integrity. If you broke your word, no court was involved. You got handled. That's where he said he learned loyalty. But loyalty in that world sometimes looks like control. So if Jay ever wanted to hold on to someone, really hold on to them, he'd already know how the game worked.
Her relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on.
He knew exactly what substances could do to a person, how they can wear someone down, mess with their head, and make them easier to shape. Now, is that what happened with Beyoncé? We don't have hard proof, but body language experts over the years have picked up on some strange patterns in public photos, like real subtle stuff that fans feel in their gut but can't always explain. Let's take one of those viral pics. At first glance, it's cute. They're walking together, close, connected.
I think he went into hiding because of the target on his back for spilling the truth.
But Blanca Cobb, a professional body language analyst from North Carolina, says there's more to it. She pointed out how their lower bodies move in sync.
I have this update, Justin. Someone in my comments, thank you, asked me, how did Uncle Ron die? I have some answers. Now, this is where it gets a little crazy. He died last month. He was only 59 years old, very young. Some people are whirling around that he died of that same pneumonia that Kim Porter had. Sounds a little bit shady. Sounds like maybe the diddler had him taken care of, because here's something real crazy. I had myself and my people reach out to his family because his TikTok page is still active, and people in the comments are asking, what happened to Uncle Ron? What happened? What is the family doing? Deleting all of the comments. If you go over to Uncle Ron's TikTok page, try this, Patriots. I did it. Say, what happened to Ron? How did he expire? They delete your question. Why? Because they want to keep their family members safe and everyone else in their life that they care about, because the diddler is not done with his nasty.
Yet Jay's hand seems to hold Bey back just a bit. It's like he's saying, stay close. You're mine. She adds that while it might look affectionate, there's a slight edge to it, a possessive vibe. Not necessarily toxic, but definitely controlling. And then there's that other photo, the one that raised more than a few eyebrows. Jay's got his hand wrapped around Bey's neck. Not her back, not her arm, her neck. Cobb broke it down and said, that move is unusual. It's a strong power gesture. Not aggressive, but it signals dominance. If you could touch her back instead and chose not to, that says something. Even more telling, Beyoncé doesn't lean into it. She doesn't return the gesture. Her face isn't even visible in the shot, but her posture suggests distance. Not resistance, just acceptance. She's letting it happen, not initiating it. Fans notice the same thing. It's not that she's afraid, it's not that he's hurting her, but the way Jay moves with her in public always screams ownership. Like he's making it known.
It was early Saturday morning. The sun was starting to rise. It was probably 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, maybe Saturday morning. We're exhausted. I've been in the studio at that point for about 18 hours, long day, starting to feel tired.
She's mine. Don't forget it. And sure, to some, that might come off as romantic, but to others, it's borderline objectifying. And Blanca Cobb? She said the same. Jay-Z is clearly more physical in public. He shows affection through touch. Beyoncé? Not so much.
All right, I sent the assistant to go run and grab 3 5-hour energies. I think I had one, B had one, and I think her assistant, her cousin Angie had one. So we all have a 5-hour energy. It gives us a little bit of a boost. We feel a little bit better about ourselves. If any of you have had one of those energy shots, it really does give you a nice jolt of energy. And so at some point, maybe half an hour later, we start recording a 4th song. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're really going to keep going here. We get a 4th song done. Now I'm guessing it's about noon, maybe 1 o'clock. So we've been at the studio for close to 24 hours now. And I thought, okay, now for sure she's going to go home. She doesn't go home. So we start recording a 5th song. Now at this point, I'm like, oh, we're in this for the long haul. We're probably not going to go home at 4 p.m. Like she's probably going to stay. When you book a studio, you book like in blocks, right? And she might book 24-hour blocks. So once you pass that 24 hours, like you might as well stay. You're into the next day already, right? And so now I realize, all right, we're going to be here all night. We're going to be here for probably close to 40 hours.
And guess what happened? Beyoncé pushed herself past her limit, shocking the producer.
About 5 days later, I get a call from Beyoncé's assistant saying, hey, are you available? Are you ready to get back in the studio tomorrow? And I said, what do you mean? Bee's in Italy, isn't she? She's not due to be back for another 10 days or so. And she's like, yeah, no, she's coming back early. She's ready to get back in the studio. And I thought, wow, we've been working so hard. You've only been gone for 5 days and you're ready to get back. That is insane to me. That's dedication.
That doesn't mean there's a problem, but when one person does all the touching and the other just accepts it, it makes you pause. So here's the real question. Why doesn't Beyoncé show Jay-Z love in public like you'd expect from a wife, especially the mother of his kids? Most couples in love can't keep their hands off each other. But with Bey, the vibe's different. Some folks say it's because there was never real love to begin with, just a contract. That's right. According to her former bodyguard, this wasn't a fairy tale romance. It was a straight-up business arrangement. And that's not coming from some anonymous blog or shady source. It's coming from the man who stood beside her for years. He had front-row access to the real Jay and Bey, not the PR version. And here's where things really spiral. The same bodyguard didn't just talk about the contract marriage. He backed up those long-standing rumors about Bey being on substances. He claimed she was being managed, manipulated, and medicated, that she wasn't functioning on her own terms. Then, out of nowhere, he disappeared. We're talking vanished. Dude was active online, dropping heavy claims, sparking conversations, and then, poof, gone like he never existed. Now fans are spiraling. Some think he passed away under mysterious circumstances. Others believe he went underground, hiding from serious heat. But one thing is clear. Folks only go ghost like that when something gets too real. And if Jay-Z was truly controlling Bey with substances, that would explain a lot. The weird energy, the dead stares, the lack of affection, it all starts to connect. There's even a story from a producer who worked directly with her. He said Bey once overdosed on 5-hour energy drinks while trying to stay up for over 40 hours straight, recording 6 songs in one marathon session. She just kept going, pushing herself beyond what any human body should handle. And while some fans called it dedication, others saw something way more serious. That's not just hustle, that's self-destruction. The producer was blown away, saying she was on a whole other level. But that so-called beast mode, it ended with her getting sick. She ruined a vacation she had scheduled because her body collapsed. That's not a flex. That's a warning. See, when you zoom out, it paints a bigger picture. Beyoncé pushing herself way too far, relying on energy boosters, ignoring her own limits. Fans started wondering, has she always been this way?
It was great, except that night I flew out, I felt like I was going to die. Like I felt horrible. I had just cold sweats and everything. I was like, my eyes lit up. I was like, you too? I had the same thing. And then it clicked. The 5-hour energies. We both drank way more than you're supposed to drink. Of course, we didn't read the label. I didn't really think to read the label or anything. We just thought 5-hour energy, we need a little energy. So we're all taking them. And of course, we both got violently ill.
Or did years of being managed condition her to run on fumes? Some believe she's addicted to that pace. Others think the damage is already done. That years of alleged dosing fried her nervous system. And now she can't slow down even if she wanted to. At the end of the day, we're left with way too many red flags and not enough answers. And with 50 Cent airing it all out, he might have just pulled the lid off something massive. So is Jay-Z about to come for 50? Or is this just the beginning of the truth finally coming to light? Let's be real, if Jay has gone after people for speaking out before, 50 might be in the crosshairs right now. But what do you think? Is Beyoncé really living free? Or is she just playing the role she was given all along? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.